Sass me.
Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the first Slightly Better Than Average podcast.
Yep. Welcome.
So, what's our first topic for today?
Our first topic is, it's Halloween time. It's October 26th.
Yeah. Assuming the computer's right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Our first topic is on Monday. I saw an article and read the entirety of said article, just for any naysayers, that Cosmopolitan put out, talking about how if your kid is white, specifically your daughter, and she wants to dress up as Moana, like we're talking like 5 to 7 year olds, maybe 5 to 9 year olds, if we're being honest, they are racist. And it's cultural appropriation.
And you're racist, and you're racist, and we're all racist.
Yeah, and that you are racist as a parent because if they're wearing it, you're really wearing it.
Yeah.
I think it was, if they're wearing it, you're kind of wearing it too, was their phrasing?
Well, you're allowing it, so...
Yeah, and it doesn't... I'm like 50% Italian after all the genetic math is said and done. So if you aren't Italian and you're eating lasagna, is that cultural appropriation from this argument standpoint?
No.
But from Cosmopolitan's?
Yeah, Cosmopolitan standpoint.
It would be cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
So, a lot of their argument was based off in like these little like, I guess Polynesian girls and African American girls have been waiting, and they said decades for a Disney princess, which is also, it's like their skin color, which is also kind of weird because that means you're like a 30 or 40 year old who's like still begging Disney. Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And that you, as a white parent, shouldn't rob them of that. But from that standpoint, unless you are hella white, like ghost white, and you're from a very specific part of Europe, you can't dress up as Elsa.
Yeah.
And you can't let your kid dress up as Elsa, because that's cultural appropriation.
So basically, only white people can dress up as white princesses.
Yeah.
And black people can only dress up as the one black princess.
The one black princess, and if you
and then only Asians can dress up as Mulan, and they win by default, because Mulan's the best.
Mulan is the best Disney.
Mulan will fucking kill everybody.
Not even technically a princess, and still the best Disney princess.
Yeah. I always thought that was weird, because we would like go to Disney World and stuff. I said that like we went multiple times. We went once to Disney World. And my sister
went once. Hated it.
Really? Dude, I loved it.
I was a little kid, and honestly, the rides were spooky, and we went on this, for me, and we went on this ride that like sprayed you. I don't remember what it was. It was scary. I
wasn't down with that kind of stuff. I mostly liked Epcot, which is all the technology and like
Pirates of the Caribbean was cool though.
Yeah, Epcot with all the tech stuff. This is when I was 10, so this would have been 13 years.
I was like 5.
Yeah, so, this would have been 13 years ago. But I was like super into technology and like food. And like Epcot, all it is technology and then food from every culture you could imagine.
What's that walk called? Isn't there like a strip that's all these different cultures of foods?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't that fucking cultural appropriation? Cosmopolitan. If you're trying food.
There's like a weird light flashing out in the woods. It's like creeping me out.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's creeping me out.
No camera, but I'm...
Go ahead, do that.
Closing the blinds.
Yeah, if someone might be like taking pictures of us and shit.
I just watched The Mist. I'm probably a little bit far away. I just watched Stephen King's The Mist on
Dude, I love that movie.
On Netflix.
Oh, wait, the show or the movie?
The show.
Oh, I haven't watched the show yet.
It's really good. And it's
I love the movie.
We're closing the blinds.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Have you seen It?
Yes, I've seen both of them.
Woo!
Yeah. It is like not a scary movie.
Pennywise.
But it's a great movie.
Yeah, no.
It's not. I mean, there's some scary part. The painting lady. Spoilers. The painting lady when she's eating the boy's face. I was like, fucking peace out.
The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, but get out of here.
No, it's great.
But as far as the princesses go, I was gonna say the one time we went to Disney World.
Right, Mulan.
My sister did this thing where it was called Breakfast with the Princesses. It was like one of the restaurants in Epcot. They would have like a big breakfast there with all the girls, and there'd be people dressed up as all the princesses. And Mulan was there, and I was like, Mulan's not a princess. 2,
you
said A and 2.
1, sir, find your chromosomes. 2, and you as a 10-year-old would question the validity.
2,
the validity of a Disney princess's royalty.
and then 2, Mulan's the most badass of them all, so that's the only person you should
really
want to have a
is.
breakfast with.
Right. I mean, Belle. If it's like...
Belle's the hottest, but... Even when I was a kid in the cartoon versions, I was like, Belle is the way to go.
That's not true. Ariel.
I'm into like smart brunettes.
Fish lady.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I don't know. But point is...
I mean, it probably smells the same, but...
oh my gosh. But they're really going to listen to our opinion on this matter after this. I don't even care.
Yeah, it'll probably taste the
Point is, it was... I wasn't offended because, like, apathy, I take it every day. Twice daily sometimes. Doctor recommends. But, like... You're honestly telling me a 5-year-old understands... like racial stereotypes and stuff if they've never been taught it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get if they have racist as fuck parents, they probably get it. But if you have racist as fuck parents, you're not struggling whether or not you're going to let your kid dress up as a fucking Polynesian princess from Disney.
Yeah. God damn it.
You're just not.
Shit. Yeah, I mean, that's right. Like, I think we should allow kids to dress up as whoever they want so long as they understand the significance of that thing.
Right.
You shouldn't just be like, let your kid dress up as Moana or whoever, and like, to me, it would be wrong of them to... I mean, parents can parent the way they want, but like with my kids, if I ever had kids, I would teach them like at least something about the culture before I let them do that. Turn it into some kind of lesson about... Because I'm all about like being as cultured as possible.
Well, other cultures are the shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
I love the U.S. and I love the U.S.'s weird melting pot culture.
Yeah, and it needs to be a melting pot and not segregated cultures.
I want to go to Japan really bad.
Yeah,
and like stay in a traditional hotel.
Yeah,
I have Yeah,
like I have a cousin. I have a cousin who's like studied multiple Japanese martial arts, including like kendo, which is the sword fighting.
That's cool.
He's actually in Japan right now getting a katana handmade from him from some kind of master. Yeah.
See, so that is
he's like 30 or 40 something years old, and he's been into it since he was like 15.
That's amazing.
Like, and he's finally getting...
But see, that's the thing that's like, from Cosmopolitan's point of view, he's racist for trying to take up
part of their
culture.
Yeah, and he's Jewish. He's white as fuck. Like,
Jews are technically...
He was... I guarantee you... I guarantee... I guarantee you he's the only Jewish guy there. From the pictures that he's shown me of, like, the place that he's at, he's the only Jewish guy there.
But this is so like from
and he's short, so at least he's about as tall as everybody else over there.
Oh my god! You know, on that front, as slightly racist as that is,
he's my cousin. I'm allowed to shit on him.
I know someone who's my friend's parents went on a vacation to Japan, and they got stopped on the Great Wall of China when they were touring a portion of it.
In Japan?
Oh no, China! I got my mind on Japan.
This is why it's important to be cultured.
We gotta cut this part out.
Yeah.
Don't cut it. I don't care. I'm not. In China, when they were touring a portion of the Great Wall, my friend's mom got stopped like 4 times.
Yeah.
Because they thought she was a movie star.
No, there was
it happens all
back
the time.
In the Vine. Yeah, back in the Vine days, there was a bunch.
Days.
Yeah, back in the Vine days, like, you know, a year and a half ago.
Right.
There was a bunch of like black Viners that they would go to like Asia, especially China, and people would want to like, there'd be long lines formed up just to take pictures of them, and they're just random dudes.
Really?
But people would think they're like athletes or famous rappers or actors and stuff. Yeah. And they would make vines about it and be like, we don't know why these people are lining up to take pictures with us, but you know, we're just going to do it. And
another reason for
I would totally do that.
Right, of course. Another reason for being cultured is because, like, I mean this with respect, but like Asian countries are still kind of like xenophobic.
Oh no, they're very much xenophobic, especially Japan.
This is our country, and we do our traditions, and you're welcome to hang out, but that's fucking it. Don't try and change it.
Yeah.
So like, unless people want America to become even worse off as far as like racial tensions and not understanding other cultures, you really need to like let your fucking 5-year-old dress up as Moana. But how about this? Teach her about Polynesian culture. And if you're not like, if you have the ability, how about you like look up and make a Polynesian style meal or some shit and like teach them teach them the importance of other cultures and why they're so cool, instead of just going, no, honey, we're going to offend somebody who probably isn't even around us, because depending on where you live in the neighborhood, you may not even see somebody of Polynesian descent.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people of Polynesian descent in the states, like in the continental states, is very low percentage.
It's got to be extremely low. Can we look that up? Polynesian descent?
No, there's no Wi-Fi.
Oh,
I can look it up on my phone.
Oh yeah,
that's why I have it here.
But like, not if somebody of Polynesian descent gets offended by their like outfit that your child's wearing, just I guess calmly explain why you did it and like the joy your child's getting from it, and that you taught them about that person's culture before you let them do it. And like, if they're still being a dick about it, then they're just kind of being a dick, I guess. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't. It's like. So again, I'm like, after the genealogical math, quote unquote, is like said and done, I'm like half Italian. So next time I see a dude wearing a Mario costume, I'm not going to lose my mind because he's wearing a goddamn Mario costume. I'm going to let him have his fucking stuff. I don't care.
It's a low percent.
Yeah, I bet it's less than 5.
Let's see.
Oh,
this isn't even. I'm just going to give you a ballpark percentage here, because this is considering everything that's in U.S. jurisdiction, including the islands themselves.
Oh, really?
And they make up 0.5%.
0.5%.
That's not even just ones. That's just not even ones in the continental.
What is that? 0.5%. The U.S. has approximately 333-ish to 4-ish million citizens.
Yeah.
So this is not even counting territories like.
This is including Native Hawaiians, Samoans. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. I'm going to try. I'm sorry. Comoros. It's either Chamorros or Camaros. It's CH, so I don't know.
Okay.
Fijians.
I think it's Fijians.
Marshallese and Tongans.
Oh, like Marshall Islands.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that is. And then Tongans. Yeah. That's all of those, and it's only 0.5.
So that's not even the 330 million citizens, which, like, let's say it's all counted.
The largest populations of those people is Hawaii, California, Utah, Washington State, Texas, Nevada, Oregon, and Arkansas. Okay. Those poor people in Arkansas. Oh my God.
Don't your grandparents live in Arkansas?
No, I have some grandparents that are they lived in Arkansas for a while.
The point is 0.5% of Arkansas. Let's say 350 million, just being generous to like narrow it down, or not narrow it down, but
they make up 1.4 million.
1.4 million
out of 350 million
Polynesian descent in the U.S. and their territories.
Yeah.
So when you're probably not going to run into one, and I'm not saying don't respect their culture.
Yeah. If anything,
again, all cultures are pretty cool, and what we were talking about the other day, like I really want to go to Dubai. And hang out there because it seems like a good time and seems like a fun culture. But like, so if somebody gets pissed at you, one, if they're not Polynesian descent, don't give a fuck, because they have no right to that culture. They have as little right as you do.
Yeah.
2, if it is somebody of Polynesian descent, just respectfully explain why you let your kid, and then just be smart about it and teach your kid about their culture before you let them do it.
And honestly, I would make my kid like an authentic. I know a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't make stuff authentic because that's disrespectful. To me, because I'm German, so if I saw someone wearing like fake costume, fake costume like Lederhosen and stuff, I mean, I wouldn't get upset about it because I don't care, but I feel like if I were to get upset at something, that's the thing I'd get upset for. If it was like fake and Halloween costume looking and it's like plastic, if it was authentic, I'd be like, oh, dude, rock. Or that'd be, because I'm part Scottish too, so if someone's wearing a legit Scottish outfit and they weren't Scottish, I'd be like, dude, that's fucking awesome.
Dude, I saw a guy the other day.
You took time and learned how to make authentic stuff, so that means obviously you learned something about the culture.
Right. Trains.
Yeah, it's just a train.
Yeah. I saw a guy, speaking of that outfit, Scottish is. I saw him and he was in his I think it was Mubia.
There's always one at a Renfest.
Well, there's one of everything at Renfest.
No, there's like a famous Scottish dude at the Renfest here, and he like everyone takes pictures. Like even my mom amazing. And like other people take pictures with him because he's like some really hot dude in a kilt, and he's actually from Scotland.
Amazing.
Like, yeah.
He's just straight up Scotland.
Straight up looks like Liam Neeson from whatever movie he played the Scottish dude in. I don't remember what it's called. It's a good movie, but I forget what it's called. I'm gonna look it up because I'm actually curious about that.
There's a guy.
He fucks some people up in a kilt.
Authentic outfits. He was in like Mubia, which is like it's Mubia the company. I think Mubia makes parts for large machinery. Like they make the parts for machinery for other companies.
Roy Robb, that's the name of the movie.
Roy Robb.
Yeah, okay. That's a great movie.
And so he was in this like Mubia like company shirt.
Yeah.
And this dude was in a legitimate kilt though.
Yeah.
As his pants, it was just a kilt. I was like,
yeah,
respect. Like I'd never do it because I feel like I'd be uncomfortable.
No, there was dudes back in my heavy airsoft days. There was guys that would there's guys like anytime we'd play around like St. Patrick's Days, dudes would show up and like we call them combat kilts, and they were kilts, but they were the actual matching camo of the rest of their like uniform.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they were sweet. It was sweet, and then we would just shoot them in the legs. We just specifically target their legs.
I wonder why kilts fell out of style.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so like I feel like as long as you're being respectful of the culture and you make a genuine attempt to learn about it and teach your kids about it, and then the value of not only that culture, whether it's Polynesian, Japanese, Korean, French, Italian, straight up the weird mixed melting pot that is American, Canadian culture with their gravy and fries and cheese curds.
Oh, poutine.
Is that what it's called?
It's called poutine.
Oh,
oh my god, I want to go to Canada just for that. That's what that is. They made that just as an American trap. Or, not necessarily, they're American too, but you know what I mean. Like
they're
a United
US.
States. Yeah, U.S. trap.
I feel like as long as you're being respectful and you really like make an effort to understand and teach your child about the culture, like it's fine.
Yeah.
Like really.
Well, like for me,
maybe I'm just too damn white and don't understand. But
I don't understand anything.
Brr. They took a jerk.
For me, like growing up, like me and my family traveled a lot because, I mean, we were homeschooled, so we had time to like just travel places. And then with my dad's job, he could like. We just got like free airplane rides and hotels and shit places. Right. So we travel a lot, and the one thing that always pissed me off is when I would see like really ignorant tourists everywhere. And like I hate
the fanny pack visor wearing motherfucker.
Yeah. Like and it's like they're like even just traveling to a different state, like they're like completely ignorant about the culture there, and like they're just annoying, and they're making everybody there feel uncomfortable who are a tourist or not. Like and I've just always had an aversion to that, so I try to be the opposite of that. Like I don't even want to go to like anywhere in Europe until I learn the language there.
I just want to try and be understanding, like even if I'm not an expert on like the language of the culture, I'll always just try and be understanding of like the local populace. Yeah, and I'll like basically look up like what's the middle finger here, because like I know
don't do that. In China, it's like the okay sign.
Is it the okay?
Either that or it's like the Middle East or something. It's
in like
Asia, Middle East, same thing, but like
not even true.
It's one of them. It's one of them. Oh wait, I think Asia is this. It's the okay sign, and then I think in Israel it's the thumbs up.
Is it thumbs up?
Yeah. Ooh. In the butt. I don't know.
Either way, I know in Malaysia, I know somebody who went there and they accidentally like pointed at somebody.
Yeah.
And apparently that's not good. I don't know if it's the equivalent of like the bird.
But like I know a bunch of like really weird cultural things. Like in most Asia, especially China, when you're pouring tea, you don't point the teapot spout in someone's direction because that's wishing death upon them.
What?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't know if it's a thing anymore, but that's definitely like...
It used to be a thing?
Yeah, it's like older... I wouldn't say ancient, but it's older Chinese etiquette.
You wouldn't do it with like grandma and grandpa?
Yeah.
There.
I randomly took an etiquette class, and it was like...
Really?
Yeah, you had to like... You were given a specific culture to learn their etiquette, and I was given China for some reason. Which I was cool with because I like Asian cultures, but...
Right.
Dude, you know what's the best food? Mongolia has the best food ever. We used to... There was a supermarket next to my parents' house in Georgia called H Mart. Okay. And it was like think of a Walmart mixed with the food court of the mall. But the food court was each of the Asian countries of
Really?
food that they had there. And one was a Mongolian place. So, like, what's the name? I almost called it Seppuku Japan. What's the name of the restaurant in the mall, the Japanese one? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's like that, but it was...
I think it changed.
Subaru? It's like Subaru Japan or something like that.
It's something. It's
Seppuku Japan.
It's some... Well, I think they changed, because it's still like a Japanese place.
Yeah.
Because there's like the Chinese, American Chinese, which isn't like...
Yeah.
Whatever. And then I think there's
basically
that one. They
Panda
either
Express.
changed their name or a new one moved into the spot.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same as a couple years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, you remember that place though, right?
Yeah, I know.
So this was basically that, but it was Mongolian food.
Okay.
But it was like made by Mongolian people, and it was like legit. And they'd like, you order it and then go sit down in the food court, and they'd bring it out to you, and it was basically just a giant bowl of just the most delicious meat. I don't even know what it was, but it was the most delicious meat I've ever had.
It was just like meat, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Also, I think Mongolia is the only Asian place where you'll find they put cheese on it. That's just like part of their culture. Like,
Really?
if you go to like a Chinese buffet, you'll see stuff with cheese on it because it's Americanized.
Right.
I could be talking out my ass here, but I'm like 98% sure. Mongolia is the only one where they came up with cheese on their own and put it on their food because they had a bunch of like cows and stuff.
Yaks.
Yak cheese.
That's fair.
Yeah. That's why if I go to a Chinese buffet, which is rare, I will never get anything that has cheese on it.
It just seems like cheese in a buffet in general is just kind of iffy for me.
Yeah, that's gross.
Dairy products.
I'm also super picky about cheese. I'm a cheese snob. So
cheese snob?
I'm a cheese snob.
I only eat Gouda and Munster, sir.
I actually have Gouda in the fridge.
Of course you do.
I have Gouda and smokehouse cheddar.
Gouda's a great cheese, though. Don't knock it till you try it, man.
Dude, I put Gouda on my sandwich. I do a slice of Gouda and a slice of smokehouse cheddar, and that's prime.
Prime.
That's
Choice?
Prime. It's choice. It is quite choice.
Dude, my favorite sandwich I think I've ever had was like honey baked turkey, Gouda and bacon.
Oh, that's
with
delicious.
Like spicy mustard.
Yeah,
it was weird, but it was awesome.
No, I make a sandwich. I make a sandwich. It's my favorite homemade sandwich because my favorite store bought sandwich of all time is the gargantuan from Jimmy John's.
Okay,
I could live off that and be fine. But my favorite homemade sandwiches, I do alternating stacks of honey baked ham and the cheese I talked about. It's like honey baked ham, Gouda, honey baked ham, smokehouse cheddar, honey baked ham, and then I do on the bread I used sweet Hawaiian bread, and then I put this local made honey mustard on it. That's amazing.
We have local honey mustard here?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll show you.
Do you have any mead, by the way?
No, I don't.
Dang it.
Let me show you this. It's like local made honey mustard, and it's like actual honey mustard. It's not like stuff for dipping. It's like thick, it's like gooey.
Oh wow, it's thick, like as thick
honey.
As honey.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can't see it, but I'm seeing like actual thick ass honey.
It looks like honey, but it just has a little bit of a mustard flavor to it.
That's amazing.
And then I do some lettuce, and that's my sandwich.
Huh?
And I love it. Of course, I put bacon on there, but I don't always have bacon.
I have an unhealthy relationship with like yellow mustard.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
I do like mustard.
It's kind of fucked
of all the basic condiments, it's probably my favorite.
It is the primest, the choicest.
Honey mustard's my favorite, but if I had to pick a second, it'd be regular mustard.
Like between ketchup, mayonnaise, and mustard.
Oh yeah, all day.
Well, it's like 0 calories and has the most flavor.
Yeah,
so
and
I love
ketchup's okay on some things. I'll put it on my hot dogs. The rare times that I eat hot dogs.
I think I only eat ketchup on like burgers. That's literally it.
I'll put it on if it's like a normal burger, like a normal American burger. I'll put it on there. But I usually like to get weird burgers, like barbecue burgers and like weird shit.
Oh well, that's
so
the primest.
You don't want to put ketchup on those.
No, because like it kind of ruins the flavor.
Or the Longhouse or the Longhorn primetime burger that they just discontinued, and I was so upset. I legitimately had like an existential crisis.
You're like, what do you mean?
When I went to a Longhorn and ordered it, and it wasn't there.
Is this what everything has been leading up to?
Yeah,
by a benevolent deity.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I need to find the recipe for it for somewhere.
I'm sure it's on the internet.
Yeah, it's expensive though because it has chunks of prime rib in it, so it's not going to be cheap.
I'm upset about, and I know this because I just left Chipotle for a different job, but they are discontinuing chorizo and phasing it out.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's so fucking sad.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who do. I think most of my friends that like Chipotle like chorizo.
It's just so good. Like, but it's like 2% of their sales or something like that.
Really? Because I feel like almost all my friends like chorizo.
It's less than 10%.
I know. I almost like
It's
exclusively just get steak.
Well, like my thing is like barbacoa. Maybe it's just this area, but we like when I was there, we sold almost
good.
no barbacoa.
Yeah, that's probably my second favorite.
Maybe it's bigger like out west.
Yeah,
I don't know, but like East Coast, I almost never see barbacoa sold.
Yeah,
it's wonky.
Well, it's just beef that's cooked differently, right?
It's like pulled spicy beef.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I don't know if this is true, but somebody was like, it's not technically real barbacoa, being like some sassy fucking customer.
No, I think real barbacoa is like from Australia, and it's like pit cooked or something like that.
Dude, maybe. But they were like...
I think real barbacoa is cheap.
Yeah, they were like, it was like, it's not real barbacoa unless it's technically... And they said it was like the meat of the face of a goat. And I'm like, this one I knew they were like... There's no way this is real.
Oh, no, they're fucking
Maybe I'm wrong, and this is some crazy shit.
It might just be where they're from.
Maybe the more you know.
I always thought barbacoa was strictly an Australian thing, but apparently it's
An
multiple
Aussie
cultures.
It would have to have some Mexican root, though, if it's at Chipotle. Like, some form of root.
Yeah, I think it eventually just spread everyone. Everyone has their own take on it. It's basically like Australian barbecue. It's like their...
Oh, yeah?
From what my knowledge is. Yeah.
But
I think it's also you cook it in a pit, like Memphis style barbecue.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, my cousin, we were in Missouri last 4th of July. He made this...
Missouri is excellent barbecue.
Yeah, we were in like... My uncle lives on like the top of a hill in the Ozarks.
Yeah.
Like the Ozark like swamp area. Whew. First of all, I'm allergic to something there. Like natural. Because like...
there's all kinds of weird shit that
I
grows
couldn't
down
breathe
there.
for the entire like trip, and then suddenly I got home and it was like I could breathe again. It was crazy, but
which is weird because where we live is
brisket,
considered like one of the most because we live in the Ohio Valley. So like we're one of the most like allergen heavy places in America.
We're like,
but I guess we just lived here so long we're adapted to it.
Yeah,
because I've never had allergy. I've rarely had allergy problems here.
Well, I mean, you can gain and grow out of allergies. Like
in Georgia, I was a mess.
I can't get poison ivy rash anymore.
Yeah,
I got it so bad it was like on my entire neck and like chest one summer.
I think I can
get after that it stopped. Like my body was like, fuck this, I'm done.
I can get poison ivy very lightly. Like it's more just it turns red and it's a little irritating, but not like it doesn't spread and it's not like because there's one time where we were exploring this dry creek bed that had like pools of water all throughout this giant long creek bed, and
like it was a dry summer.
Yeah, this was actually at Colin's old house, and we would the path that we normally took down to the creek was completely covered in ivy, and it was taking like hours for us to chop through it with our machetes and stuff. So we're just like, let's just run through it, and then immediately jump in the water as soon as we get there and try to wash it off, and it worked.
Really?
Yeah. So either none of us are allergic to poison ivy
anymore,
that much, or it worked.
Or it worked.
Yeah, because we were totally fine.
Dude, the worst thing about poison ivy is like if your clothing touches it and doesn't touch you, and like it's like and the shirt like wasn't dirty enough, like you just hung it up and it wasn't like it wasn't worth washing or whatever for whatever reason. If you're in an environment where you touch poison ivy, it's pretty worth washing. But if for some reason you don't, or you touch it with your hand when you go to wash it, the oil like sticks to the shirt and can fuck.
They actually
if
you get poison ivy, this was in the military. If you get poison ivy while wearing your uniform, you're not allowed to turn in that uniform to get new ones. Really? Because they do this thing where you RX uniform. I think that's the word, RX uniform. It's been forever since I've done it, so I don't remember. Basically, like if you have a uniform that's all torn up, periodically they allow you to turn it in and you get a new one. Usually they're super picky about what they take back and stuff.
Do they reuse it, or is it like that's a minor cut?
I think they reuse it sometimes. Okay. Because if you have like, I think if I remember correctly, if you had like if you contracted a poison ivy. That sounds weird saying that, but you know what I mean. If you got poison ivy while you were wearing that uniform, you weren't allowed to turn it back in.
Like ever. You
just had to keep it or throw it away or destroy it or something.
Give it, burn it.
Yeah, burn it.
Like a used flag.
Yeah.
Salute your uniform.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I think that's a good you brought up. We live in the Ohio Valley, which is northern, like the top 3 or 4 counties of northern Kentucky, Ohio, and then the southern portion of Indiana.
Yeah,
with culture and like differences, is northern Kentucky is so different from like
the rest of Kentucky.
Most of the rest of Kentucky, but like especially if you get further south than Lexington, it's like a different.
I consider Grant County to be the gateway. I call it the gateway to the south.
Yeah, it's so...
As soon as you come south, so you hit, like, Mount Zion, and then you hit Richwood, and then Walton Verona is
Verona is, like, the last...
That's, like, where it's, like, mixed a little bit.
The last border.
Yeah.
Because it's still in... I think Walton Verona is Kenton. Or is that Campbell?
I think it's right in Kenton.
Yeah. So, if it's Boone, like Daniel Boone.
Yeah.
Kenton, like Simon Kenton. All explorers.
Yeah.
And Campbell, I'm not sure who Campbell's named after.
And then Grant.
Well, it's Boone, Kenton, Campbell are all... That is, quote-unquote, Northern Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then Grant is, like, the beginning of the rest.
What county is Independence in? Is that Kenton still?
That's Kenton.
Kenton's just huge, isn't it? It's just a huge county.
Kenton's huge, and the Independence... If you live here, you know what we're talking about.
Because this is in Kenton.
Yeah, we're in Kenton.
And Independence is also in Kenton. That's a good ways away, considering.
You also got to consider Independence is an octopus of a city.
Oh, that's true.
The way it spreads out and like
that
goes
gerrymandering.
The gerrymandering, which isn't even like because it's a city.
Yeah,
it doesn't really even apply.
No, it doesn't.
But yeah, no. If you were to look up a map of Independence, Kentucky, or if you live close by and understand, you can be 40 minutes away from the other end of Independence, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like driving speed limit wise.
Yeah, it's just because it's shaped weird.
It's so shaped and weird, and it's so
because Independent is east of where we are right now, but it also goes down. It's like goes way east and then way south.
Yeah.
Because when we were going to one of our friends' house in Independence, it's like 10 minutes away, and then I went to one of my dad's friend's house the other day when they were up here visiting, and it was in Independence. I'm like, oh, that's only 10 minutes away, and it wound up being like 40 minutes away.
Yeah, it's a long way.
Yeah,
Independence is an octopus of a city.
Yeah.
But aside, it's like...
But so once you get past Walton Verona is where like culture starts to mix into Southern culture.
Shifts. Yeah.
And then Grant County, where I grew up, is like super...
It's so different.
Like Southern culture.
You wouldn't think... excuse me. You wouldn't think 4 miles... culture-wise makes a difference.
It does.
But I'll be damned if it doesn't make the biggest difference in the world. Because, like, you've lived all over the country.
Yeah.
And you said that Cincinnati, North Kentucky functions more West Coast than East Coast.
It does. It functions more like a city in some of the cities in California or like even like Seattle where I grew up. It's very similar.
Really?
Well, I've grown up a lot of places.
I think the difference is, like, we don't have places that stay open past midnight.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
I just mean in the way, like, what things that trend, things that we enjoy eating, how we dress is much more... Even TV shows that we watch is much more West Coast
It feels more West Coast?
Yeah.
Like, I think the only difference is, like, makes us really East Coast solidly is Cincinnati's a German-Italian town.
Yes,
so
very
that's
much.
Very East Coast.
Descendants-wise, it's very East Coast.
Cincinnati...
Honestly, probably back in the day, this was a very East Coast city. Back when this was a butcher town, I don't know. And it was run by the mafia. The mafia.
My great uncle was a mob hit.
Yeah,
he died.
He was a mob head, or he was a mob hit.
Oh wow, he died. Yeah, they found his body in the river, but with all his belongings still on him.
No, my old football coach, who he grew up here, his dad was in the mob.
Really?
Yeah, and he would tell us all kinds of crazy stories. His dad was not only in the mob, he was also part of like the snake handler Christian religion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they do like really weird shit with snakes, and he would tell us all kinds of crazy stories. How like the FBI would show up at their door. He lived actually in Cincinnati. He grew up in Cincinnati, in the actual city, and like the FBI would show up at their door.
Is there an FBI headquarters in Cincinnati?
There used to be. I don't think there is anymore.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there is FBI here. They're relatively close by. But they would show up at his door, and his dad would go like run and hide under the bed, and the mom would answer the door, and she'd be like, "He's not here." And the FBI agent, my coach distinctly remembers this FBI saying, "Man, we can tell you what he ate for breakfast for the last week, so we know for a fact that he's here." And then they went upstairs and got him. I was like, "That's brutal."
That's savage.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
dude, that coach was a savage. I actually think he's the head of the. I think he's now the head of the sports like department of the school that I grew up next to. Yeah,
crazy. But yeah, so as far as like cultures go and like cultural appropriation, all that shit, it's like. I'm just tying it back in to close this point out. Yeah. It's like, if you have been to Cincinnati, you know what Geta is, which is like a breakfast sausage type deal.
It's like sausage and oatmeal and like all kinds of stuff mixed together. It's good.
It's good. It's hella German. Good.
And you like fry it. It's amazing.
So if you're not from the area and you eat it, it's not cultural appropriation, and I would fucking dig it, and I'd really want you to share in like my local culture.
Yeah.
So don't be a fucking asshole.
Basically, but like,
let kids be kids.
America should be a
respectful.
melting pot. We shouldn't try to separate the cultures. We should try to be blending all the cultures into our own culture.
Right. People are so desperate to like not be Trump's America. You're becoming something worse.
Yeah. By keeping yourself segregated from everybody. By self-segregation is the cancer of America. Like, that's what's going to kill it.
Because we're all so afraid to offend each other. Or we're so afraid to not stand up for everything we believe in.
Yeah.
And not die on every fucking hill. Yeah. That, like, we're ruining the point of this great nation. Which is, like, everyone pulls some... We're, like, melting pot, if you don't understand. It's like, think about, like a potluck dinner where everybody brings... Or, like, a Super Bowl party. Everybody brings a different chip.
Yeah.
That's the U.S. We bring all kinds of different cultures into one and, like, share. Yeah. That's the fucking point.
Yeah, the way I always like explained America growing up was like, we're supposed to be a melting pot, but we're more like a salad. We're all in the same bowl, but we're different things. Yeah. Like the tomatoes are the tomatoes, and which is not the way it should be.
Right. We should be like one unified.
Yeah, it should be
thing of different cultures and things.
All our cultures should blend into one homogenous culture where everybody's cultures are celebrated. Like,
it really should.
Everybody's culture should be celebrated by everybody.
Yeah.
Do you know how many holidays we would have? Everybody celebrated everybody's
culture. Never have to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Woo!
Exactly.
I mean, hey, I'm okay with celebrating other people's cultures.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to sit at home as, like, a predominantly Italian, German, American and, like, celebrate every fucking Mexican-based holiday.
Yeah.
But if I knew a Mexican and they were having a party, I'd go.
No, when I lived in Seattle,
I'd go and indulge in the party and have a good time.
When I lived in Seattle, I had Mexican next door neighbors, and like I'd celebrate Cinco de Mayo with them like all the time. Like,
right.
Yeah. Anytime they had a holiday or something, like they would invite me over and I would chill with them because I was cool.
America, and that's sharing your cultures.
Well, also because they would know that I was actually interested in their culture and like wanted to learn and
that's the important
stuff.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we've been all over the fucking place, like in the past.
Let's take a bathroom break real quick. I can edit that out.
Because I could pee so bad. Misa back. Misa back, a Darth Binks.
Darth Binks.
Dude, I want Darth Binks so bad.
Dude, that's a rabbit hole.
Dude, all I'm saying is if Snoke is not Pelagius, I'm happy. If he's Palpatine, I'm gonna be really sad.
Dude.
I'm gonna be so
Snoke
sad.
is Pelagius.
Pelagius, please.
Pelagius actually is Jar Jar Binks. And Jar Jar Binks dies. He dies in his Gungan form and reincarnates into a new form, and that's Snoke.
Oh my god.
Just blew your mind, boy.
Also, Darth Vader is Pelagius' son, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. I guess we'll move on to a new topic, though. This one is
There was another topic right before.
Silly.
What was it?
What? Oh, the tweet.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to my new favorite section of the podcast, on the first day of the podcast. This is dim-witted tweet of the week. All right, so I saw this. If you've been on Twitter ever, it's 150 characters is the tweet limit. So people tweet, like, screenshot text box, like notes or whatever. And I saw somebody tweet this text box. The original poster was Rosalarian. Excuse me.
At Rosalarian.
At Rosalarian.
It's Twitter, get it right.
All right, so the Twitter, like, the tweet that went along with this photo that they had retweeted was exactly stop praising the Boy Scouts for letting in girls. Which has been a big thing of fucking debate, whether or not you can be publicly homosexual in the Boy Scouts. I don't give a fuck, do whatever you want. Or girls, honestly, I don't give a fuck, do whatever you want. Or like we were talking about earlier, just make it Scouts and combine all the organizations.
Yeah.
This is the tweet. I'll read it. Okay, but Girl Scouts allowed trans and NB, I think is that non-binary?
Yeah, non-binary.
Scouts in Longo, and they're a secular organization, as opposed to the explicitly Christian Boy Scouts. We'll pause here real quick. Boy Scouts is not an explicitly Christian organization.
No, it's not.
I was a Scout for 6 years, and we'd always go to this summer camp. The troop would, or if you wanted to go, the entire troop go to summer camp. I think it was just called Boy Scout camp. Not a camping trip, it was a week long. And yes, my troop was predominantly Christian or atheist were the two that were represented in my troop.
Yeah.
But at this camp there were There were a lot of Muslim scouts. There were Hindu, Buddhist,
that's interesting.
Judas,
I never knew that. Yeah.
Jewish,
Yeah.
and I think one more. I don't remember the last one. Point is, it's not uniquely Christian. And for like meals, there would literally be a prayer for each religion that
Oh, that's awesome.
either the scoutmaster, if they were the same religion as as their scouts in the troop, or that one of the higher ranking scouts would pray. And you weren't forced to like pray with every religion because religious freedom, but you pray for yours, and everybody was respectful and quiet during everybody's different prayer time. So it's not a uniquely Christian or explicitly Christian organization. You're full of fucking shit.
Well, there is a Christian Boy Scouts called Royal Rangers, which I was a part of.
Royal Rangers.
Yeah,
but hold on.
Wait, hold on. I will say this:
not a part of Scouts, but it's Boy Scout-esque organization.
Yeah, it's modeled.
Okay.
It's modeled
Like
after the Boy Scouts.
You know why this came about? Because the Boy Scouts aren't explicitly Christian.
Exactly. That's the point I was just about to make.
Or the is it All American Girls? That's the
yeah,
doll, but it's
that's the girl version of Royal Rangers.
Explicitly Christian because the Girl Scouts are not. So these organizations are not explicitly Christian. You're full of shit. You don't know.
No, it's called American Heritage Girls.
Was it American Heritage Girls?
American Heritage Girls.
Okay.
All American Girls or whatever.
It's the doll. I wasn't sure if it was the same name or whatever, but
I know I was associated the two together because they're like
it's like the same name in my mind.
Well, like my sister was into both. She was into the dolls, and this is when she was really young. She was into the dolls, and she was part of American Heritage Girls.
Okay. So
I was in Royal Rangers. Here's the thing. Royal Rangers is basically the not as cool version of Boy Scouts, but I will say this. We had some sick-ass berets that we would wear. Like
you guys got berets?
They were blue. They looked like...
I should have been in that one.
I
was a Boy Scout for 6 years.
They looked like a green beret, but they were blue.
That's...
and they looked...
Dark blue or baby blue?
Dark blue.
Hell yeah.
And they looked sick with the uniform. And the emblem that was on the thing was like this cool-looking company. Here, I'll just pull it up on my phone.
That's amazing.
It was so
I'll
cool.
continue while you reading this while you pull that up.
Yeah.
So one, non-explicitly Christian organization, even though Misa identifies as Christian as far as religion goes. Like, it's what I do. I don't hate you, though. Don't hate me. Like, you do whatever the fuck you want. This is literally just a way of attracting girls away from the feminism of Girl Scouts to the Christian patriarchy because we still think Boy Scouts are better because they're for boys. I never had that opinion. I thought Boy Scouts were better.
This is the brand that we would wear.
That's amazing.
Doesn't that look cool as fuck?
That's so... I'm going to order one online.
I have one somewhere.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to wear it.
I think it was lost in one of the
I have an affinity for berets, so anytime in a video
game... That's the uniform we would wear. It looked like an actual military uniform. It looks sick as fuck.
It's pretty nice.
That with the blue beret?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Other than that, Boy Scouts pretty much... Everything else was Boy Scouts based. Right. Everything was exactly like Boy Scouts. Except for we had to memorize scriptures.
I pretty much wear berets in every video game I can.
Yeah. Berets are cool as fuck.
Again... Not Christian. You're just kind of placing blame on... I feel like in the world right now, you place blame on one or two religions, being like Christianity's suppressing
or Islam.
Or Islam, they blew shit up, which... Shut the fuck up. They're extremists in both categories.
No, there was actually... I went to church last night, and there was a group of Islamic kids that came to our church to just like check it out and experience it, and they were super cool. Like
they're cool.
Yeah.
It's like... I mean,
my dad has a friend... from Israel, and he's
Islamic.
He's Islamic. He's like one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life.
Well, it's like when people are like, Christians hate homosexuals. That's not true.
No,
they're some of the coolest dudes ever.
The message at our church last night was basically like, you shouldn't shun anybody.
Don't
you just
hate them.
Yeah, it's not your place to judge people. So
we're gonna get on a religious rant about how like we don't hate people.
Yeah, dude, if you're a Christian and you spend time hating someone, you obviously don't know what you're doing.
Doing it wrong. You don't have to like anybody, but if you hate them, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So again,
I'd rather go to... This is just being weird and going off the deep theological side. I know we said we wouldn't do this.
We're going to do religion and politics because we're doing episode 1, bitches.
Yeah, but like, I would rather go to hell for loving too many people than go to heaven for hating people.
Fair.
That's just me. That's my personality.
You're like Paul.
If I go to heaven and like whoever's there is like, no, you liked these people, so therefore you can't get in, I'd be like, then I don't want in the first place.
Well, that's not taught in the Bible whatsoever.
It's not. No
matter what people say.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, if that were the situation, that's not a heaven I would want to go to.
Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, that is taught, it's like, no, it teaches X. But at the end of
the Bible also teaches that we're not supposed to judge anybody outside the church.
Yeah. You're
It
literally.
says, I don't know where it says that because I have other things on my mind.
It comes in
but-
like you're not supposed to judge, but that's like it's like God's job.
Yeah,
you're only
exactly.
supposed to judge when it's like if I knew somebody else who professed the same religion that I did, and they were doing something that's like bad, like robbing or lying or something like that. Then you're supposed to, and by by judging, it's more like go there and be like, "Hey, quit being a fucking dick."
Yeah. More like just offer guidance and counsel.
Yeah, so it's not even... So this is the most accurate thing they said is Christian, inaccurate, but patriarchy, no shit.
Yeah.
It's been all guys forever. It's led by dudes. Of course the patriarchy.
And the Girl Scouts is a matriarchy.
Exactly. It's a fucking matriarchy. It's just how it works.
Which is why you should combine so that way you don't have either.
Except for, I will say, Cub Scouts and like Weeblos, which is before Boy Scouts, like the...
Oh, I know all about Weeblos. I have a funny story about that.
But that's like led by moms and dads.
Yeah.
They don't really have a scout master officially.
Yeah. When I got back from basic, I had to... I was doing some volunteer work for some people, and we wound up having to go out to this like Boy Scout camp thing. It was I don't remember where it was. It was somewhere a little north of here, but it was also in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know where the fuck it was.
Somewhere in Ohio. Probably.
Yeah. So like it was a bunch of Weeblos. It was like Weeblos and Cub Scouts.
Weeblos?
I don't know how you say it. I'm not.
It's Weeblos. I'm just making a Weeblos.
Is it we? Is it? Oh, okay.
I'm just making a Weeblos.
So apparently, part of they were all out there like getting badges and stuff. And one of their badges was they had to go on like exploring these trails and stuff, like trail hiking stuff.
Yeah, there's like distance requirements for like.
So this dude,
you actually hike,
this incompetent motherfucker had a whole like 20 or 30 Weeblos and got lost.
Oh my god!
And I was the only one there that had like land navigation training, so they gave me a radio and sent me out in the woods to find them. And I found them on some dude's horse farm property in Ohio, like way the fuck away where they needed to be.
The incompetence.
Yeah, and I was like, I just went out there because I thought I was just gonna help out. So I was wearing like I was wearing some like nicer boots and some nice jeans and stuff because I didn't expect to be out there getting dirty. I was just caked in mud from like hiking through this place,
had trekked.
trying to find these like 30 Weeblos and this like dude who got them lost.
Oh my god, that's awesome. But
dude, I hate it. I was like, I'm not. I don't think I volunteered for anything after that.
And once they became Boy Scouts, they learned how to use a map and compass and everything.
Hopefully,
I mean, I did. I said, I was in Scouts for 6 years. It's how I actually know.
They were lost for like 4 hours. So if I was a Weeblo,
4 hours?
Yeah, I would have been like, I'm not coming back.
Just find a road.
Yeah.
Like, go to the dude. Hey, can you point us
It
the
was,
road?
to be fair, it was in the middle of nowhere. Like the nearest road was probably like 3 miles away. Like that I knew of.
Sounds like a good hour-long hike.
Yeah. Like we had the gravel road that we took to get to this place was like a 3 mile long gravel road.
Right. So continuing this post is, I went camping, Girl Scouts. I built fires. No one ever said you didn't. I also learned that it's okay to be proud of being a girl and doing girly things. No one ever said it wasn't. That you shouldn't be. Fucking do what you do. Things like sewing and cooking. You learn that in Boy Scouts too.
Yeah.
On camping trips, at least in my troop, is your patrol, which is like what they split the scout troop into, was patrols. Yeah. You're responsible for your own food and you assign cooking, and if you guys fucked up, guess who didn't eat?
Yeah.
For real. And sewing was, you had to know how to do that because your shit would get fucked up camping. Yeah. Important skills are downplayed because they're seen as women's work. First of all, do you not understand how valuable moms and wives are who would stay at home, or dads who stay at home?
Yeah.
Huh?
I do. If my life works out, I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad and just do video game shit.
Yeah, I just want to do like podcasts and YouTube content and like, I'll marry a doctor. I'm cool with that shit.
No, dude, I'm actually like, yeah, I'm actually like super attracted to like type A, like strong women.
That's fine.
So like,
I just want if I do get married, I just want to be able to work as a team.
Yeah.
Like we fucking make decisions together. And when it comes down to who's staying at home, who's working, who makes more fucking money? Unless like, now I will say this about the downside of being a guy is like, if she really wants to be a stay-at-home mom, like that's her fucking desire.
Yeah,
I'll suck it up and work.
Yeah,
but like if she wants to be a doctor, lawyer, what the fuck ever, go get it. Now if she makes way less money than me, I'm be like, nah, fam, best decision for the family.
How about this? Don't have kids and both work and get a shit ton of money.
True. Well, I want to get married to like someone who's like a doctor or nurse and literally like not have kids for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And one of us pays all the bills and the other one just saves hella. Like that's such a good idea. God, people just
honestly take the one that gets the most money, save that, and then just use the other one to pay off bills.
Exactly. Downplay because they're seen as women work. The Girl Scouts are so officially pro-choice that they scare evangelicals. My sister was a Girl Scout. It doesn't scare. Oh, no
Wait,
pro-choice.
did that say the Girl Scouts are so pro-choice that scares away?
Scares evangelicals.
Ooh. I mean, I don't know anything about the Girl Scouts, but if that's true, that's freaking hardcore.
They're like, ooh, yeah, pro.
Oh, there's a hilarious pro-choice joke. It's like, I'm not. It said, it's not that I'm against pro-choice, or it said, it's not that I'm against killing babies. I'm just against giving women a choice. Just a joke. It's just a joke.
But a funny one.
I read it on a dark humor Reddit.
Dark humor Reddits are hilarious.
Yes.
First of all, I don't know a single evangelical who would be scared about your opinion.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be scared of other people's
most
opinions.
most evangelicals, the opposite. They'll confront you about your opinions rather than be scared by them.
Yeah, they just be like, I think you're wrong.
Yeah. I know this because a lot of my family are like super hardcore evangelicals, and they all like professors at Christian colleges and
really?
shit. Yeah,
it's kind of hardcore.
Not so much anymore, but they used to be back when I was
girls
a kid.
joining Boy Scouts is fake progressivism. I don't even know if that is progressivism a word. First, of all.
It is a word. You're kind of a douchebag if you use that word.
It's just odd, but. First of all, how's it? It's not like all the fucking leaders of the Boy Scouts are like, yes, and like tapping their fingers, like, we're gonna lure the young girls in and brainwash them with our patriarchal ways.
Subjugation.
It's more like multiple girls wrote to the Boy Scouts and asked to please join, and the fucking National Council.
Because apparently they do a lot cooler shit.
Sure.
Apparently Boy Scouts do a lot cooler shit. So
Boy Scouts are.
Or they put more emphasis on the cooler shit.
No, yeah, I'm not saying Girl Scouts don't camp and learn these like survival skills. I'm just saying that's Boy Scouts' entirety.
Yeah.
So you're gonna know more of that. Well,
dude, if I have a girl and she wants to join Boy Scouts,
was there anybody in your basic that was an Eagle Scout?
Oh, I'm sure there was.
So Eagle Scouts, fun fact: you join the military after you're an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, you get a higher. You start off with a higher ranking. Yeah, you get
right out of basic.
Yeah,
2 ranks. Not only that, fun fact, and this is
I think it might be 3.
Is it 3 now? I know it was 2 back in the day, and maybe 3 now.
I think you start off as a private first class.
Ooh.
Which is E3, so that's 3 ranks.
Okay. I don't know if you got a rank out of basic immediately.
No, I mean, you can go through, we call them E-fuzzies, because...
E-fuzzies?
Yeah, so E1 is the lowest rank, and that's where you don't have anything. There's no rank anywhere.
Okay.
So at the spot where you normally put your rank, it's like a Velcro patch, and it's just the fuzzy part of the Velcro.
Oh, E-fuzzy?
So we call them E-fuzzies.
I have a really funny story about rank. My cousin is in the Air Force. He just got out. He was like, he was in for like 5 years?
Yeah.
It's 4 or 5 years. I don't remember how long the contract was. But he was stationed at Nellis outside of Vegas.
Yeah.
And there was like...
It's where the boomers are from.
Yeah, the boomers in Fallout was awesome. But there was one... It was high ranking. Does the Air Force have admirals or are they generals in the Air Force?
Honestly, Air Force and Navy ranks, I'm like...
I know Navy's admiral is the general equivalent.
Yes. It's like the highest general equivalent.
Yeah. 4-star. Because
yeah.
Well, 5-star you can't achieve anymore because that's 5-star is commander in chief in the field. You're basically equal to the president unless the president tells you to do something.
Yeah, a 5-star is basically the command over the entire military.
Patton had the last one.
Yeah, that's right.
And they don't have it. They won't award it anymore because Patton was a badass.
Well, I mean, I think they will, but they just haven't. There's been no reason to. We haven't had a war on that scale. There's no need.
There wasn't anybody that had to take back Africa and then take back Europe by themselves.
Yeah.
Again, but as far as back to the rank story, he was walking along the base and it was a high. It was higher than captain, much higher than captain because Air Force captains are. I think
Air Force captain is lower than Army captain.
Yeah, they're pilots.
It is in the Navy.
Pilots are captains. Well, captains in the Navy are hardcore because they have a ship.
Yeah.
It's different. But captains are still high. Oh, it was so high. It was above lieutenant. It was real high.
Well, lieutenant and most of them are just like the lowest form of officer, which is still high. That's still high.
He was higher than this. I'd have to
You're
ask
above
him.
Every other enlisted person.
He wasn't general. I think he was like one beneath general, whatever that is.
I'll look it up.
Oh, yeah, just look up Air Force ranks. As soon as I hear it, I'm going to know it. Then I'll continue the story. So I'll continue reading this and finish it.
Yeah.
Girls joining Boy Scouts follows progressivism, where I think perhaps the days of gendered scouting might be numbered. First of all, where's the Apache attack helicopter scouts? I would like to join them. It shouldn't be because everyone is now joining the conservative organization of the Boy Scouts. Another one that's incorrect.
Yeah.
Boy Scouts are nonpartisan. again, troops may be more conservative or more religious leaning certain ways, depending on who's in it. Because friends join Boy Scouts of the friends that are already in it, so troops do become formed.
Air Force officers is the same as the Army.
Is it?
Yeah. So if
Air Force was born out of the Army during World War II, because they used to be the Army Air Corps, and then they had to separate them.
The enlisted ranks are completely different. That's why anytime I would have to go...
Because it's like airmen instead of...
Yeah, anytime I'd have to go to... there's an Air Force base near where my parents lived, and I would have to go there sometimes to like do administrative stuff for the Army. And I'd go there, and I'd be like, I don't know who to talk to. Because I don't know any of these. I know there's like the more stripes, the more important you are.
Right. I know it's like base rank is airman.
Yeah, I actually have it. It's okay. So actually, it's the same until sergeant. Nope. Never mind. It changes. Yeah, master sergeant, senior master sergeant. Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Doesn't the Army have master chief?
No, it's the Marines and the Navy, I believe.
Oh, okay. Right, because it's United Nations Space Corps in...
Yeah, and in Halo.
In Halo.
Halo is all Navy and Marine
Is all
ranks.
Navy, yeah.
It's all Navy and Marines ranks.
Well, it makes sense. They're flying ships. Did you look up the ranks?
Oh, yeah. No. I said they were the same, so I basically know what they are. So a captain is a 03, so that means you go second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain. And then major, lieutenant, colonel, and then it goes...
That's it. He was a colonel.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was a colonel. Yeah, he was a lieutenant colonel or he was a colonel. And
colonel is the insignia is a bird.
Yeah.
It's like an eagle inside.
Well, he was a really old guy. He was like 50s.
So that would make sense.
He was a colonel.
That would make sense.
Of some ranking.
Yeah, you have to be old.
And my cousin was walking, and he was like, at the time, was like one of the lowest ranking guys on Nellis.
Yeah.
Which apparently don't get to Nellis very often. Mm-hmm. Just his job description, they needed him there.
Yeah.
And this colonel they were walking, and he saw him, and my cousin was about to salute him, but the colonel was faster and saluted him, thinking he was a higher rank.
So colonel saluted
my cousin. And then cousin... Yeah, well, the colonel mistook because he hadn't seen the airman.
Oh.
The, like, Airman 3 or something in a long time. And it's kind of wings. It's like pilot's wings.
Yeah.
So I think he thought he was like a pilot and was saluting
Or maybe he was like preemptively saluting him, because you're supposed to salute them.
Well, no, that's what I thought at first he was telling me. But then my cousin was like, he's like, sir, excuse me. I can't let you walk by without telling you I'm like airman third or first class.
Yeah.
I should be saluting you. And he saluted him. And the colonel was like, oh, my bad. I just haven't seen anybody of your low ranking in so long on this base.
Yeah.
That like, I just assumed that you were high enough for me to like initiate the salute of like a captain or something.
Yeah.
To where you would do it out of respect. But like, yes, that's the story of how my cousin accidentally got saluted by a colonel. Yeah. And he let him walk away, and the colonel found out later. I guess that could be bad things of like, you didn't show respect back.
Yeah.
You little shit.
No, I've had something like that happen where I was trying to get on base in Fort Stewart, and my seatbelt was covering my rank.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I don't know, but for whatever reason, they thought I was like a higher rank because they called me sir and stuff, which you're not supposed to do unless you're an officer.
Oh, really?
But I'm a dickbag, so I was just like, yeah. I just kept
what do you say to other people who are not officers?
What do you mean?
Like, what would their, like, I guess, casual title be? If officers are, like, captains and lieutenants, and you're not calling them captain and lieutenant, you call them sir.
Sir, yeah.
Sir or ma'am? Or would you call a female officer?
We call them ma'am.
It's ma'am.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was just
interesting fact, there's a parallel ranking system called Chief Warrant Officer, or just Warrant Officer, which it'd take me like an hour to explain why that's a different thing.
We don't have to go into that.
But you call them Mr. whatever their last name is. You don't call them Sir.
Really?
So like even an officer who's like a higher rank than you would call you like Mr. Patterson or Mr. Freiliger.
Weird.
Yeah.
Odd. But yeah, so that's how that happened.
Yeah.
So wait, what would you call somebody of like your rank, or like one above you? Would it not be sir, or would you just call them?
No, if you're an officer and someone's a higher rank than you, you still call them sir.
No, I'm saying, but if you, who were not an officer, were addressing someone who's a higher rank than you, who was also not an officer still.
Oh, you call them by their rank.
Okay.
You call them by their exact rank. Like, well, no, in the Marines, so Marines are very stickler, so you call them by their exact rank. To my understanding, because I have a lot of friends that are Marines, but I'm not a Marine, so I don't know.
Okay.
But to my understanding, it's like if they're like, I don't know what the Marine equivalent would be, like a command sergeant major. You would call them command sergeant major.
Okay.
In the Army, you pretty much up until like first sergeant or master sergeant. Maybe master sergeant, I don't know. But definitely up until first sergeant, you can just call them sergeant, regardless of whatever stuff is attached onto sergeant. Like, if it's staff sergeant or anything like that, you can just say sergeant.
But if you saw another, what was E? What did the E stand for? Private?
Yeah, private.
So if you saw another private who was higher than you would address them as private?
Not really. Until you hit E5, which is where you get your first sergeant rank, no one, it's at least in the Army, no one really cares. Like if there's E4, which is a specialist or a corporal, depending on what your job is and what they need. Almost never have I gone up to someone and be like, "Oh, specialist so and so." Like I just call them their last name, even though they were higher ranks than me.
Got it. Okay.
Once they hit E5, which is sergeant, you pretty much have to call them sergeant, whatever. Otherwise, they will get like super pissed.
Right.
Usually, I had one team leader who was an E5 who didn't care if I called him sergeant or not, but I still did because he was one of those ones that was so cool that I respected him enough to call him that,
even though he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, even though he didn't care.
Could you go sergeant their last name? Or is it
no, usually you have to because there's a bunch of them standing around.
There may or may not be a different sergeant around. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Drill sergeants are the opposite. They get pissed if you call them by their last name. Because they're like,
really?
You don't know me, you fucktard.
You don't know me,
well, and usually there's like not more than one or two.
You rock chomping fuck boy?
Yeah, usually there's not more than one or two standing around. So there's like, if there's only one drill sergeant around and you call him like I had a drill sergeant Pettit. If you call him Drill Sergeant Pettit and there's no other drill sergeant around, he would go fucking ape shit. He's like, I'm the only drill sergeant here. You don't need to know my last name. Fuck you.
So you're either dumbass or pretentious and think you need to say that, so he's going to cheat you out.
Yeah.
Either way. But back to the thing, because they said, and it ended with...
Close your mouth. There's no flying cocks around here. That's my favorite.
He said that?
Yes.
That's amazing.
He would say that. We'd be like on a 5-mile run and I'd be like... like close your mouth. There's no flying cocks around here.
That's amazing.
Like,
yes.
Sir. No, you say shut your cock holster. There's no flying dicks around here.
No cock holster.
Just shut your cock holster. Amazing. There's no flying dicks around here.
It ended the post with I want to look back. I forgot we were talking about fucking military ranks.
Welcome to doing podcasts.
Damn long. Join the conservative organization of the Boy Scouts. Now, I understand the word conservative does not necessarily mean political party, but in the United States it does.
Yeah. No, it's pretty much universal, like political stance.
It's either Republican or Democrat, depending on when you live.
To me, conservatives is just a mindset in general.
Well, conservatives like keeping things the way they are or going back a little bit.
It's being more taken in. Liberal is more like letting out, and conservative is keeping in. Oops. Is like keeping it.
Like, so I think in the political world...
It's like being conservative with your money means to not spend a lot of your money. Right. It's to conserve it.
It's like, let's not change and advance laws because we're fine. Where liberal is like, let us change. And
that's always... That was a funny dichotomy I was thinking about today. How like conservatives tend to think that they're the voice of freedom, but literally the word liberal means liberty, which means freedom.
It's all fucking weird.
So you can't be, to me, you can't be a
conservative.
You can't be a social conservative and be for freedom because it's the two different things.
But so it normally means in the U.S. if you're listening from somewhere else or whatever, or just don't know. Conservative is normally Republican. Liberal is normally Democrat.
Yeah.
At least right now. Like in the 60s, Democrats were much more conservative.
It's basically flip-flopped. In the last few decades, it's flip-flopped.
It flip-flops every once in a while.
Yeah. Which is why I hate it when people bring up the argument. They're like, "Oh, you're a Democrat, but Democrats were the ones that try to keep slavery in." And it's like, well, no, because the stances have flip-flopped now.
It's changed,
so that basically doesn't hold any weight.
Right? It's like, it's like that doesn't matter though.
Yeah.
Like, dude. But not Republicans. What am I saying? Boy Scouts are nonpartisan. It is, and I'm not kidding. Again, I was in the Scouts for 6 years, so like, you want to fuck on me, bitch? I'll fight you. It was when you got your uniform. They were like, you can wear your Scout hat because like it was part of the uniform. You didn't have to wear it, but you had one to like baseball games or working out or whatever. but you couldn't wear it to political rallies. Like, you could
that's interesting. I didn't know that.
You could
like
get
that.
kicked out of Scouts for that because you're showing support.
Which is, they should.
You represent Boy Scouts when you're a Scout.
Yeah. Was that bipartisan?
Nonpartisan. Bipartisan is like working with both sides. So like every former president is like, can't we just work together, fam?
Okay.
Nonpartisan
is not taking a stance at all.
We take no political stance.
Okay.
As an individual, you're allowed to, but you couldn't wear your uniform to rallies. You couldn't wear your hat. Like, just,
I like that.
You couldn't. So saying it's a wholly conservative organization, again, they're probably more conservative, more Republican-leaning troops, just like there are more Democratic and liberal-leaning troops, depending on where you are.
Just like I think you shouldn't wear your religious stuff to political things, but that's just
that's
a thing I do. Well, also I don't go to political rallies because I think both political sides are fucking dumb.
And just as an aside, before you in the comments for those of you listening a month from now, because we may or may not get views the first time we put it out.
Yeah,
you're Republican Trump lovers. Mike, who'd you vote for?
Oh, Gary Johnson.
Who did I vote for? Gary Johnson.
I voted for Gary Johnson the last 2 times.
Because, you know what? They're both terrible. Hillary Clinton and Trump are terrible.
Hindsight being 2020, I probably would have voted for Obama over Romney.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time I got to vote, was in that one. But that was hindsight. To me, back then, being young and like not having paid a bunch of attention to politics, I was like, I'm not sure about either one.
Right.
So I just went with the one who I knew I stood closest to on most political issues.
I mean, I wanted Rand Paul because Rand Paul is basically just a libertarian.
I would have voted for Rand Paul.
He's a libertarian who had to run on a Republican for any chance. And like, before you lose my what about marriage rights? You know what he says about that? It was like, what was it? It was the government doesn't really have a place, so it doesn't. And then
I think he's also trying to get weed legalized in some places.
It should be, because taxes would be awesome. But that's not the point. This is a political podcast. Yeah. So it's whatever. Yeah. As far as like, we're not hardcore Republicans. We're not hardcore Democrats.
No,
I think we're just.
I agree with either side on different issues.
Yeah, there's some things with Democrats where I'm like, no, yeah,
most money issues. I lean more right.
Yeah, most funding issues, I definitely.
Except for the longer I go, the more I'm a little bit more in favor of healthcare, at least some form of healthcare.
I'm 100% for like quote unquote social healthcare, except that you can't, because like my sister got accidentally hit with this because their insurance fucked up last year. So she got charged like $600 in taxes for not having insurance. Yeah, because that's how Obamacare works. If you don't have government or private insurance, they tax you a fuck ton for it. Yeah, it's like that's
sketchy. But that's also the plan. Obamacare was like mostly written by the right wing like years ago. If I believe that correctly.
Is that true?
It was a plan that was already in state, and then they added some stuff onto it, and then pushed that through.
Right. So it's like,
so there was lots of fucked up shit about it.
It's one of those things where it's like, can't we all just be bipartisan and work together, or like not disobey what George Washington said and just not have a two-party?
Oh, there's lots of things that I'm very much a hardcore George Washington and Jefferson fan. There's lots of stuff they said that I believe that is not being practiced today.
Right.
But
like, for example, some things in the Constitution should be considered dead. Yeah. You can't change it.
Jefferson was a huge advocate for changing the Constitution periodically.
But some things we should probably reevaluate every 10 to 20 years and just kind of work it out.
Yeah.
It's why we have amendments. We have like 20 of them.
Yeah.
It's happened before. We can do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so ending this last, it's like just people being dumb on the internet of like, so many things that I said about the Boy Scouts that were inaccurate, where I'm sure in some troops they were accurate, but in other troops, like, you're completely fucking wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if I went to a Boy Scout troop in bumfuck Mississippi, which I'm allowed to say because I have family from Mississippi.
I'm from Mississippi.
Yeah, I'm not from there. I associate 0% with Mississippi. But if you were to go to some troop in bumfuck Mississippi, like, some of those things might be true.
Some of them may be true, but if you were to go to a scouting troop in Los Angeles, almost none of them would be opposite. It'd probably be pretty opposite.
Yeah.
In New York, it's a gamble.
It'd be like a bunch of gay Muslims, which doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense, but that's what it would be.
Oh my god.
I can't believe I said that.
Oh my god, we gotta cut that.
Maybe.
Punch up. But yeah, so it's just a lot of like making sweeping statements from people who, if you were to make a sweeping statement about them, what they believe in, they get very offended. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah.
Also, Fallout 4 is great.
Fallout 4 is excellent. In fact, I'll probably put like Fallout 4 footage over this for the YouTube part of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just have it playing in the background.
Just put a waving flag.
Yeah. Oh my god, we should do like waving Fallout flags. Like,
oh my god,
like Brotherhood of Steel.
Nah, like Vault-Tec.
Vault-Tec. You know, I'm getting a Brotherhood of Steel tattoo.
Are you really?
The like sword with like gears and stuff behind it, just because it looks sweet as fuck.
I think I'm gonna get the Vault Boy thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm also getting a Pit Boy tattoo right here. Is it finger
gun in 4 or is it? No, it's just thumbs up in 4.
It's one of them.
It's finger gun and Fallout.
I'm gonna get a Pit Boy tattooed on my wrist as well.
Well, like I'm a massive Green Day fan. If you don't like that, you can suck it. I think I'm gonna get.
I don't think most people would disagree with you. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, just the people who hate Green Day are just like
they're a small percentage and they should be ignored.
Small percentage should be ignored who haven't listened to any of their albums. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna
they listen to like 3 other radio songs.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna listen to I think I'm gonna get the Vault Boy riding a 20-ton bomb.
Yeah.
That says Green Day on it, like from American Idiot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. Combo tattoo. Woo!
You should put like Mini Dookie on it or something. Instead of Mini Nuke. Mini Duke.
But like D-U-K.
You can't use that. I can't want that idea.
Mini Duke, it's ours. Copyright.
Yeah, copyright. I'm putting the patent through.
But
it's already gone. I sent it.
By the time you listen to this, it's gonna be done.
Yeah.
You're gonna try and fight us on this, but looking up patent rights takes months.
Yeah, Tanner actually already has that tattoo, and if you have it, then you're an unoriginal fuckboy.
An unoriginal fuckboy. Yeah, that's all we got. God.
Yeah.
This podcast normally won't be political and charged, but cosmopolitan and dumbass Twitter people.
I feel like we navigated that pretty well.
I think we did because I think we talked about it in a genuine fashion. Actually, brought up points on account of like.
Yeah.
One, you and I are from different cultures, even though we're both white. We do have different like cultures,
very different backgrounds,
experiences, and backgrounds. And then I was so we could navigate like Moana thing of like you're being silly, and like there's a lot of different.
Yeah, that's just silliness.
Like what the fuck, man? Just let kids be kids.
There's way more bigger issues than need to be.
That's the biggest goddamn problem with America. Is like there's so many, or the world in general. There's so many big issues, and we're distracted by tiny ones. And then I was a scout for 6 years, so like it was just wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you're just incorrect in most of what you said.
Yeah. I trust you on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like we couldn't wear scouting hats to events.
Yeah,
for
that's
real.
cool.
It's
I
fucking
like that.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But, yeah. So,
thanks for listening. We'll do this how often are we going to do this? Weekly?
Weekly, probably.
That's cool.
Yeah, thanks for listening to the Slightly Better Than Average podcast, episode 1. We'll be releasing some gameplay videos.
Soon.
Very soon. Probably next week.
Probably even before that.
Yeah, probably. Honestly,
I already have a bunch of the videos. I just need to put them up.
Tonight. We'll just put one up tonight.
This might be up there tonight, maybe. We'll see.
Something should go up tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, so thanks for joining us.
All right.
It has been a pleasure, and we will see y'all next time.
See you guys.